Russia now is not a bear, it's rather the black swan. It's making a lot of mistakes, it's committing a lot of crimes that the free world cannot just put a blind eye on. Before the vote in the Parliamentary Assembly, Russia committed a lot of not very good things in Syria. There are violations, still violations, even in three pilot security bubbles in the Donetsk region. So Putin is not fulfilling his promises to the American partners, to the European partners. He is committing crimes, and this is the reason why the West, even before that, was willing to seize some sanctions to show their goodwill. But now they have no choice but to step up the pressure. And there are some rumors among the European experts that the German government is working out on some additional sanctions with regard to the actions of Russia in Syria. And possibly we will see in the nearest future the adequate answer of the European Union and the United States on that. Plus to this, we see that the time of the cadency of the President Obama in office is running out, and certainly he is not going to take any military actions and any serious actions that will affect the further presidency of other candidates. It means that the sanctions pressure is the only tool available for Mr. Obama at the moment, and possibly he will use it. The window of opportunity for a speedy speedy resolution of the so-called Ukrainian crisis, but to name it the Russian aggression against Ukraine, is closing, and it's impossible to fulfill before the next president of the United States will enter the Oval Office. So I don't believe that even with all this pressure put on the Ukrainian president, Ukrainian government, it's possible to go this road. As I said, in three security bubbles, there were no ceasefire for seven days in a row, and there were a lot of violations of ceasefire and use of forbidden weapons against Ukrainian armed forces. So it means that we are not in a position to withdraw our troops. It means that we are not in position to proceed with the political parts of the so-called Minsk agreement, and that's why I see no future of the Minsk being fulfilled by the end of this year. And given not just the situation on the ground, but this firm position of our Ukrainian parliament on this issue, that they're not going to have any concession to Russia without security guarantees, and secondly, with the majority of Ukrainians not willing of Ukraine to fulfill on its own these obligations, which are harmful and unacceptable for the Ukrainian nation. Certainly there is a sort of uncertainty with regard to the further stand of the United States, whether Hillary Clinton will take office or Donald Trump, and there are a lot of fears from the Ukrainian side that if Donald Trump is the president and he will make a deal with Russia on the expense of Ukraine. If Hillary is elected, we can see that possibly the same policy of the United States will carry on, but possibly with some step up of the U.S. support to Ukraine, and including possibly the supply of the lethal weapons to Ukraine, with the aim to stop the Russian aggression. But nobody knows what was going to be in the United States in one month, and nobody knows who is going to chair the other countries, the other important actors in Berlin and Paris, because the next year will be elections over there, and we see that the Chancellor Merkel is going to lose her seat, and we don't know know who is going to replace it with which position. So that's why, from the one hand, it's good to procrastinate the fulfillment, the unilateral fulfillment of the Minsk agreements. From the other hand, we don't know what future will bring to us. But I'm sure one thing, that Russia is going to escalate the situation, and it will create more grounds for the European community, for the United States, to put more pressure and to support Ukraine in a more vigorous way.